Okay, last time we got our wall with our front door sheathed and assembled, so that's ready to go. We'll put that aside. Next, we're going to start the back wall of the building because these plates go through all the way through from outside the building to outside the building. So we're going to tack these two plates together, mark them and cut them, do our layout, assemble the wall framing, glue it up. This wall is not going to be sheathed, so when we glue it up, we're going to want to make sure this thing is nice and square so it doesn't mess up our building. So we're going to take a little bit more time with gluing it up. Okay, so we've got our layout on here so we can count up our studs and our jacks. They're going to be the same lengths as on this wall. The one difference with this wall is you've got cripples underneath your window openings. All right, so I got my plates laid out the way they're going to go, and I've assembled all the full-length studs right now. So first step, we're going to assemble our block in for our intersecting walls and stuff. If you remember, this end is the same as the far end over here on this wall. We don't have room to get an L-shaped block in there and then that stud to keep our layout. So we're just going to have a triple nailed up here. This wall right here, where this wall intersects, this interior partition intersects, we need blocking for nailing for this wall. So this one, we're going to have an L-shaped block assembled like that and installed right here on this layout mark. And then this one, we need our two stud corner laid out right here for our drywall nailing. So I'll glue and tape those up. So next step is our headers, jacks, cripples, and rough sills. So in order to get all those, we got to look on our window schedule. Head height, again, is 6 3/4. So that makes our jacks just shy of 6.5 inches tall. We've got two window openings. Each side of a window opening gets a single jack. So we're going to have 4 jacks at 6.5 shy. Our headers, remember, they go from king stud to king stud. So you get the rough opening width. So these are window 3. Rough opening width is 3 inches plus the thickness of each jack. So we got to add this much, 9/16. So each header is going to be 3 9/16. So we'll have 2 headers at 3 9/16 of an inch. Our rough sill goes inside a jack to inside a jack. So that's just the same dimension as our rough opening. So we got 2 rough sills at 3 inches. And then our cripples. So figuring out our cripples, we've got a head height of the window at 6 3/4 inches. The window rough opening is 4 3/4 inches tall. So that top of that rough sill is going to be 6 3/4 minus 4 3/4. So the top of that rough sill is going to be 2 inches. But because the top of the rough sill is off the plywood, we have to subtract the thickness of the bottom plate and the thickness of our rough sill in order to get our cripple height. So again, that's these two, 9/16, because the cripple is going to be installed in there. So our cripple is going to be 2 inches minus 9/16. So each cripple is going to be 1.7/16. And we have, if we go inside, if we go on our wall layout, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cripples. So we've got 4 at 1 7/16. So we'll cut up all those pieces and lay them out and get them ready to install. Okay, I've got my 2 headers, 4 cripples, 2 rough sills, and 4 jack studs. All right, so we got most of our pieces laid out where they need to go. Next, we need to transfer our layout from the plate to our rough sills so we can get our cripples lined up right. So remember, your rough sills go from jack to jack. So it should be cut to that length right here on your plate. You see your layout? Jack, and your rough sills in between it. So the layout is going to be the same. So you can square those lines across and put your layout on there. And then with this opening, we can do the same thing. Set your rough sill on there from jack to jack and transfer our layout there for our cripples. Don't forget to square your layout lines across the wider dimension of your plates, so that way you don't get them crossed around. So this wall's almost ready to go here. I'm just going to lay all the pieces in place so we can see, and then I'm going to start assembling all this. All right, once the glue on all these pieces are dry, I'll start assembling this wall. So I gotta let it sit for at least an hour and then come back.